I'm doing a little blog now, and it's about Halloween. Listen, as a Christian, should you be celebrating Halloween? Hell to the no. No, you should not be celebrating Halloween. No, 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 and no. Listen, let me break it down to you. There's things, the Bible says, you should not be on milk, but you should be on chewing bone and have a meat. What does that mean? There are understandings and some certain things that you should grasp and should have grasped as you've become a Christian and born again. Those of you who are born again Christians and you are still celebrating Halloween, I question your understanding, because this is spiritual. Bible says that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, dark powers of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. I've missed one out, and I think something in heavenly hosts or whatever. But the Bible explains to us that we're not fighting a war in the flesh, and our weapons are not carnal, but are mighty for the pulling down of strongholds. Understand, when Saul in the Bible went to find, when the prophets wouldn't speak no more, when he couldn't hear from God no more, what did he go to do? He went to find the other end. He went to, after he's already banned clairvoyance and banned other, I would say witchcraft in the land. Now when he's in a desperate situation and wants to hear from the spiritual realm, remember, listen, the spiritual realm is more realer than the physical. But because you're in the physical, you believe the physical is more realer than the spiritual. My brother, it's the other way around. That's why Matrix is so real, but we'll talk about another time. Understand that the spiritual realm is real. So when Saul understood that, he said, no. I got to find out where I'm going, because really talk, I'm not hearing from heaven no more. So I'm going to have to go to the opposite end. The people who are actually blocked. And what happens? I think it's 1 Samuel 28. And he goes to find a lady who can speak to the dead. Now, when he goes to speak to the dead, Samuel, the spirit of Samuel, comes up. But guess what? The spirit actually lies to Saul, because he gives a prophecy and the prophecy doesn't come true. That's a familiar spirit. Understand that. When you read the scripture, 1 Samuel 28, you will read it says about familiar spirit. So understand that familiar spirits are not of God. Nah, fam, they're not of God. So when these things happen, Saul went to that side. Why? Because he couldn't hear from God himself. Now I'm going to give you this now. People who are celebrating Halloween are misunderstanding and misinterpreting it. It's been put nicely and secularized and made it into a business for people. That's the image they put on. But go and research what Halloween really means. The actual true meaning of Halloween is Samhain. Samhain is actually what the Wicca or the witchcraft people will say is their day that the god or mother god or dark mother or dark father, they call it, dies and is reborn on the 20th of December in the winter solstice, the longest day in winter, the darkness of the day, whatever. Okay, why is it that on the 20th day they associate their god with the darkest day? It doesn't make sense. Do you see me? Why would, you know what I'm saying? When you start seeing things that are dark, twisted nature, anything that grows in darkness is ugly. Look at a plant. Any plant that grows up in darkness is twisted and ugly. But if it grows in light, okay, I think I made my point. So the whole point is this. In Halloween, it's been made to look like a business, but it's really not a business. Because truthfully what it is this. Satan wants you not to believe in him, but Jesus Christ wants you to believe in him. The contrast is mad, because Satan always brings a counterfeit to what is real. Hence why the cross is that way, but Satan will turn it upside down. Hence why the Star of David has been twisted now to be used as a pentagram, as an evil source. See, symbols, a lot of them are for God, but a lot of them have been twisted by Satan because he understands how he can use it for his advantage. The rainbow has been used for LGBT. Why? The symbol or the snake on the stick has been used for ambulances, but people don't understand that. That started with Moses. Moses used that as God told Moses, put a snake on a stick, and when people look at it, they'll be healed. So the sign for ambulances and NHS and all that stuff, it's all from the biblical understanding and from God originally. But Satan has twisted it. So here we go. We're talking about Halloween. Those of you who think that Halloween is Hallowed Eve, get it right, bruv. Hallow Eve is on the 1st of November. Some even believe on the 7th, not on the 31st. 31st of November, 31st of October is called the Samhain. Now the Wiccans believe this is the day that the magic is at its strongest. That because it's one of their holy days. They call it one of their holy days. Are you crazy, Don? They call that one of their holy days. Imagine what that means. No. Think about it. That means to them, that's one of their holy days. That's like our Sunday, or that would say that that's our Easter when Christ resurrects himself. That's a holy day, a day that they consecrate, a day that they consider dear. So if they consider Halloween to be dear, and these people practice witchcraft, and they'll tell you, hey, there's white witches, there ain't no such thing. You're all witches. Because what happens is this, when they say they're white witches, look at what happens. They say, if you go on wicca.com, read it. We only cast spells on, and you have the responsibility to do what you need to do. Well, if you have the power and responsibility to do what you have to do, you can do anything you want to do. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have the liberty to do whatever you want to do. And some of them cast spells in order to, let's say, help the family. So let's say their mum had a problem at work. Someone annoyed her. Someone's been mean to her. Someone's been bullying her. Then they cast a spell on that person. Do you think that's cool? Divination. When the Bible tells us strictly we should not be involved in divination and strictly not be involved in witchcraft. And you wanna listen, let me tell you something. So these people believe on the 31st of October. I'm gonna read something for you. I wanna read this, bro. I'm gonna read something for you. On the 1st of October, this is what they believe. That it's a spiritual night, yeah? And that it's like the mundane laws of time and space temporarily are kind of like suspended. And that the thin veil between the worlds, spiritual and the natural, is actually lifted. So they can communicate with ancestors much easier. They can communicate with the dead much more easily. Wow. And like I said, they believe that that's the day that the mother dark mother, father, whatever, dies that day. So its origins are from a Celt cult, if you want to say that, or whatever, but I believe it's way before then, and it's of the Feast of the Dead. Here's the thing, Halloween is about the Feast of the Dead, hence why these creatures that people dress up as are dead. Dead as in the fact that they're not alive in this time, they're in the spiritual realm, and they serve a living purpose, which is to serve Satan. But here, we've made them into novelties and characters, and made them into films, into books, Vampire Diaries, made them into Supernatural, we've made them into True Blood, we've made them into a whole hope of things like, what's that film? One with the guy, man, Edward, whatever. You know what film I'm talking about with that girl, werewolves versus vampires, whatever. But it's like they've made it into a trivial thing, and so now it's become part of our culture that we just think that's calm. But if you're African, especially, you know that, listen, fam, we don't play with them things there. Why? Because our parents, our grandparents, people who have been in Africa have seen the darkness, fam, and seen witchcraft at its truest nature. Understand that. So when we talk about Halloween, yeah, and you want to dress up and you want to act like, basically what you're doing, you're saying is, I invite you, spirit, into my home. I'm partaking in your holy day, and I am celebrating with you. See, Satan's biggest trick is that he doesn't want anyone to believe in him. So when he doesn't want you to believe in him, Christ wants you to believe in him. Because I said already, Satan's a counterfeit, Jesus Christ is real. So Satan will make you believe that he's not real. But Jesus Christ wants to make you believe that he is real. Counterfeit. And so when you don't believe in Satan, what you're actually doing, and you go out celebrating this Halloween, what you're actually doing is you're contributing to what he's about to do. On that night, they believe it's one of the strongest nights to do magic, and magic brings chaos, right? Brings chaos. So I'm going to read some more of what I've read here. It's mad, man. Okay. So those of you who obviously think it's Hallowed Eve, like I said, Hallowed Eve is the 1st of November, or the 7th of November. It's not the 31st. It's 2 different days. And some of the definition here, listen, chakras. I know people, because they do like Kung Fu and all that stuff, they talk about chakras. Listen, witchcraft. I'm telling you now, witchcraft. Yeah. Meditation, called fourfold breathing, called Parayanama. Yeah, listen, I can't pronounce the word. It's to do with chakra, breathing, Kundalini, yoga, animal guides, they believe that spiritual guides. Bruv, it's all long. It's all long. But all I'm saying to you is this. If you think Halloween's calm, right, I believe you haven't spiritually understood. You're not of a level. You've not understood. You've not fully understood what is really going on around you and what's happening. But I'm going to leave it there. I won't say too tough. Deuces.